Medvedev wins ATP Finals in London. It's Zlatan again. But for how long? Liverpool extend home win record at Leicester's expense. And what's happening with City and Arsenal? Hello, it's Spot the Money. I'm Bimbola Oyele. We begin in a moment. All right, welcome to Spot the Money. It's our Monday edition, and we begin with the ATP Finals 2020. Daniil Medvedev fought back to beat US Open champion Dominic Thiem and win the biggest title of his career at the ATP Finals in London. The Russian dug deep to claim a 6-4, 7-6, 7-2, 6-4 victory over world number 3 Thiem at the O2 Arena. The 24-year-old Medvedev will now finish the year fourth in the world rankings. Medvedev did not beat a single top 10 player from the November 2019 to October 2020, but he has now beaten 7 in the space of 4 weeks. He is the only player to beat the 3 highest ranked players at the season-ending event, following his early victories over Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. This is the last year. The tournament in question will be held in London, with the event moving to Turin, Italy, come 2021. And from tennis, we move to UFC, where UFC 255 saw flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo defend his title against Alex Perez. The newly crowned UFC flyweight champion Deiveson Figueiredo made his first title defense in impressive fashion in the main event of UFC 255. The 32-year-old needed fewer than 2 minutes to make American Alex Perez submit in the headline bout at UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Figueiredo and Perez both started quickly as the pair traded powerful strikes early on before the American attempted to take the fight to the canvas. The Brazilian's victory extends his winning run to 5, with his past 4 victories all coming inside the distance. He has now cemented his status at the top of the men's 125-pound division. In the night's other main event, the reigning UFC Women's Flyweight Champion Valentina Shevchenko continued her dominance of the women's 125-pound weight class. A hard-fought but unanimous decision gave her victory over Brazilian challenger Jennifer Maia. Returning from knee surgery, 32-year-old Shevchenko went into the fight a colossal 120 betting favorite. And now we are joined by renowned sports analyst and commentator Azu Prince Onitsha. Good morning, Azu.
Morning to you, Bimbo. Great to be here once again. How are you, Bimbo?
I'm fantastic. All right, let's jump straight right into today's discussion. Zlatan. Now, this man has been featuring regularly on this show for being for the rescue operation he carries out in football. At 39 years old, he's AC Milan's highest goal scorer this season. Superb form. 10 goals now in 6 league games this season. But yesterday's game against Napoli, where he scored twice to give AC Milan a 3-1 victory, he kind of limped out of that game. And it looks like he had a hamstring injury, which could, keep him out for as little as between 3 to 6 weeks. Should Milan start getting worried now with the possibility that Zlatan could be out for a couple of games?
No, they have to be hugely worried, Bimbo. The first thing is when he had that short coat and coronavirus. Yeah, they didn't do it so badly, but there's this presence that can give them aim and belief, and that's what we'll be looking forward to. A man who has broken into the records of the likes of Gabriel Batistuta, Vieri, and also Piatek, who did that seasons ago with Genoa, scoring 10 goals in his first 8 games. His own is actually 6. He also did what Piola did in the 1942 season. this is a great man you can't take anything away from. It's going to be a huge miss for Milan. But I don't even want to talk about the feat at this point. And let's celebrate this man for what he's done and what he's been able to do at not just being in his 30s, being 39. He's now going to be 40 in no time. Now, the first question you ask is, Lionel Messi, will he have been able to play up until this time? Will he be able to play up until this time with Cristiano Ronaldo? I think Zlatan is just in a league of his own. He might not have the whole laurels that this great guy got, but there's something working for him. His presence and his confidence. Remember what he said when he had coronavirus? It was like, Corona has toyed with the wrong person. And he's showing us that already by scoring, by being on the scoring spree since he returned from that issue. This man is one of the greatest. You can't take it away from him. But I think he's in a league of his own. There is no player like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Presence, acrobatic, confidence, even at 39, athleticism. He has everything going for him. And he puts the goal into the back of the net. Yeah, he's not been able to replicate that for the Europa League, but who cares? What he's doing in that Italian Serie A is enough. He went away to Napoli and got a 3-1 victory. So like, you don't get you don't get that from anybody, if not Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I hope to see the likes of the playoff until that time. But for now, let's celebrate the man who's presently there. At least he's making 2 to 3 weeks with hamstring injury. I know when he comes back, he continues from where he left off. Yeah.
Well, let's hope so. And what Milan will do or how they will cope in the meantime, we'll just have to see when the time comes. Now, speaking of injuries, from Zlatan, we move to Gerard Piqué of Barcelona, who will be out for a reported 3 to 5 months with a knee ligament injury. Now, how much of a blow will this be to Barcelona and to Piqué himself?
Bingo, the first thing you ask is, Barcelona did some signings in the last season, and all of a sudden they will be having to promote a player from the B team into the first. Obviously, they didn't get their transfers right, and that's why you see Barca fans happy when the president of the club, Bartomeu, was told to leave. It's not the Barcelona we want to see at this point in time, but that's what they are facing at this point in time. Their Piqué is injured. It should be a quick fix almost immediately. But to look at where they are at this point in time, Sergio Roberto also joined in at least till 2021. Fati was the last person before the international break. Barcelona going through a lot at this point. And I don't know if I should fix this in Bimbo. It's going to be a huge, huge challenge for Barcelona because you don't have this should have been the best time for Samuel Umtiti to actually get his place. But it's nowhere to be found. It's a painful case for Barcelona at this point. Nothing is working. Messi is not at his best. It looks like everybody's going to do the next move. Balls are being getting from him. And without that, what I think about Barcelona and the other big that kind of football, it's issues for Barcelona. Sergio Roberto is not also the big for right back. I think there will be a replacement for him. Then you will then take up that position. For the center back, whether you're playing with young, who would have been more creative in the midfield, or you're starting the young man who will be promoted from the big team into the starting 11. It's going to be really tough for them, and this will tell whether they are really ready. He's not going to win the league to qualify for the champion. You might say that's easy because we have just 2 great guys in the Spanish La Liga. But the way it's going, some things are doing really well. And if Barcelona will take their time to struggle to the end of the season.
All right. Now from there, let's move. To Liverpool. This current crop of Liverpool players have set a new club record. 64 matches unbeaten now at home Anfield. Now, the new record was set at the expense of Leicester City, who they defeated 3-0 at an empty cup without key players. Mo Salah, Jordan Henderson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, even Joe Gomez. So many players out. Everybody was expecting it to be a very tough night for Liverpool, but they kind of demolished Leicester City 3-0. What does this say about Liverpool and how what to expect of them this season?
You're some class, Bimbo. I think he's gone beyond what the players can do, but what the coach can instill. And that's what has been happening so far this season. Let me start on the lighter note by saying that I got Kasper Schmeichel in my goal and I put Pope on the bench. Yeah, we really put it. 16 Liverpool
I had Michael on the bench, but my number one keeper didn't turn up. So FPL is going to dash me Michael. Just imagine.
So at this point, Liverpool have shown that they've got something going for them. It is beyond what the players can do. There's a spirit in that team, and that's what works. Take your mind back to what happened against Barcelona. That was happening that a couple of players who had the last of the Liverpool league devouring Barcelona, where they had won the first leg and they came back and won by 4 goals. It's a tough one to call at this point, and Liverpool will not contend for the league again. Tottenham have the one team at this point to contend again, and that's what Liverpool are doing. That's what people do. 3 beautiful goals from those guys. Anyway, they got those goals in there, none of my people. And that's what that man has done. More than half of the team was in just the first starting lineup. Leonardo decided again in fullback position, this time around the right back, and he did wonderfully well. He had a makeshift defense of Figueiredo and Matthew was also just getting back to the team. Robertson was one man they actually did, and he could do in that too. Beautiful football. We saw a lot of good football this game. Showing Liverpool starting 11 and having just 5 players or 4 players. So they were trying to see how we play, and the spaces are filled up. Lockdown more performance, this more spirited performances than what you expect, like tactics. He has got the tactics to the level. It might be some direct football, strong goal as they call it, but he has something that he invites in that team, and that's what some big coaches don't have. That's what he has. So it's fantastic. I think nobody saw it coming. Most people didn't see it coming. I thought that was going to be fun and the best for them, but they continue to do what they do against that. Give them to.
All right. Okay. From Liverpool, still Leicester in the picture. We move from there now to London, and we'll stay in London and move to Manchester a little bit in our next set of questions. So we're going to talk about Arsenal now, Manchester City, and the poor form that these two clubs are recording at the moment. For Arsenal so far this season, they've lost at home to Leicester City, they've lost to Aston Villa, they've lost to City, they've lost to Liverpool. 4 losses for them. And over the weekend, in my opinion, they were very, very lucky. They should have lost to Leeds United, who played them with 1 man down. Leeds, they struck the upright twice, and somehow, Arsenal survived. Now, some have said there is no creativity in that Arsenal midfield when you consider the quality of players that they have held, who have held things for them in the past. The quality of players that Arsenal had in midfield: Cesc Fabregas, Robert Pires, Thomas Rosicky, Mesut Ozil, even Jack Wilshere. But others say, football has changed. People don't use, his standing, just, they don't play a player just solely for him to create assists anymore. And, they talk about Liverpool, with the way they play, from the wings and all of that. But some people have identified that as perhaps, one of the main reasons Arsenal are struggling right now. They've not scored a field goal now in about 4 or 5 games. What do you think is the problem with Arsenal? Let's start with Arsenal first before we move over to Manchester City.
The number one problem, I know Arsenal board have always had issues, but at least they've been able to grind out results to take them to a level. Although the worst we've seen of Arsenal in a long time. Arteta is a problem, straight up. I don't know if Ozil's, we want to believe Ozil's issue is from the board. Okay, let's assume Ozil is not in the team. Because that's the best man that would have sorted to a level the problems we are facing at this point in time. But let's take out Ozil from the picture. Let's look at what is happening. Where is Arteta starting 11? You wake him up now and ask him that same question, he cannot give you an answer.
He has not played the same starting 11 now in 9 games.
Can you imagine? That's how bad Arteta can be. And I think he has this very deep heart. When he goes against you, there is nothing you can do. When this is out of that thing because of one issue he had with Marseille, and he was sent out on loan when he held him and got a red card. Arteta sees that you make a mistake and it's totally against you and it doesn't look in your direction again. Bukayo Saka keeps saying, and Ceballos should be one of the players in that position to play this midfield. Build these guys to do what they have to do. Whether they say football has changed or not, You must understand what works for your team. And that's what he's not been able to identify at Arteta. You are an Arsenal player. You know the way Arteta carried his team all through the time you went. You went on to learn under Pep Guardiola, and this is what you can give the Arsenal team. Leicester City don't get results against Arsenal. They did it the last time. They lost again, and they almost lost yesterday to Leeds United, who couldn't take their chances. That's how bad Arsenal have become all of a sudden. Leeds are playing with so much confidence against Arsenal that even when before they got the record. Arteta doesn't know starting 11, and that's not fit to be a coach. He's facing the same challenge. It's not worse. The same thing that we had from Daniil Medvedev, and everybody was singing him out. It's a very difficult situation. But in the other way around, this is just my own opinion on what I'm thinking. I think the fans have played a huge role for the teams that play good football. Now, Man City, Arsenal, you mentioned them. Let me ask Barcelona to look at where they are languishing in some very precarious positions on the league table. I just thought down this morning and I was thinking, what could be happening? Any day Barcelona loses, you have City lose almost the same day or the same week. Now let's look at it. Let's leave the days out. What I'm thinking is, I think the fans are being a better supporter, are being a better advantage to the likes of the teams that play good football. It is their fault. When they start knocking the balls around, the fans scream and the opponents under pressure, they don't take their time. And you see them grinding out results. They play with more confidence when they knock the ball around. But it's not working out for them, and there is nobody to look at. Messi is almost like an average player at this point in time. City played the best of football on Saturday, no doubt. But they still couldn't get the goals into the back of the net. Because for you to get the goals into the back of the net, you need the defenders to make mistakes. And the Tottenham defense were not ready for any of that. And I think the fans are affecting, the absence of fans is affecting the team more. I might not be able to add that now because Arteta have very much shown that it's got quality. But we put them in because of the kind of football that's just my opinion. And I know some people will go against it, but that's what I feel. I think the fans have affected those things more. For Arteta, you have to just face the exit. He's not finished his classes. Let him go back and learn more. I knew there was going to be issues before he came into the club, although he came out very wrong the way he came in. Look at what we're having. I think the end of the means for it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Azu. That's the much we can take right now. It's been quite interesting as usual, informative, analytical. Thank you so much, and we hope to have you back at a very, very much later date.
Great one, Dina. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. So that's been Azu Prince Onitsha on the analytical chair for today's edition of Sport to Money. Just to quickly mention, FIFA has pre-selected 2 Nigerian referees to officiate the 2023 Women's World Cup to be hosted by Australia and New Zealand. A total of 156 referees and assistant referees from all over the world are candidates to officiate at Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. The 2023 Women's World Cup, the 9th edition of the tournament, is expected to be played in 12 cities across both countries from July 10th to August 20. And the Nigerian officials selected are Ndidi Madu as a referee for the tournament and Mimiseni Yohe as an assistant referee. Other African referees selected for the tournament are Salima Mukasanga of Rwanda, Lydia Abebe from Ethiopia, Maria Rivet from Mauritius, Morocco's Bukra Karabubi, Vincentia Amedom from Togo, Fatou Thion of Senegal, and Dosaf Ganwati from Tunisia. 10 other assistant referees were selected from Africa. And that's our show for this morning, Spot the Money. Until the next one, I'm Bimbola Weyele. Keep winning.